At the start of this year, I challenged myself on this channel to make $10,000 worth of beat sales in 1 year. And with it achieved, it is now time that I pass on everything I've learned in the past year from doing this challenge and how I was able to make that much sales, wrap all that knowledge up into one concise video and give it to you so you can apply these methods for yourself to make more beat sales. Because when I was in the early stages of beat selling, I didn't know what to do when it came to selling beats, and I watched a lot of videos online, and I watched so many videos where producers said they earn X amount of money, but none of the videos actually really deep dived into how they actually arrived at making that much money, rather than just giving very broad and unspecific terms and descriptions of how they actually did stuff. So my promise in this video to you is I'm being 100% transparent on everything that I've done in the past year to get $10,000 worth of beat sales, and hopefully by you watching this video till the end, you will learn everything you need to improve your beat selling, make more beat sales going into 2024 and in the entirety of 2024. So how this video is going to work is, first I'm going to do a breakdown of what my streams of income as a beat maker were, where the money came from, and then after that I'm going to start showing you all the different ways that I've been driving traffic to my beats this year. But just before we do get into the video, I just want to really quickly mention the new sample pack that I have dropped on my beat store. It's called Epic Guitar Loops. If you're looking for guitar for your productions or beats, go check it out in the link in the description. I'm doing a limited time 50% off the pack as well. So if you're looking for guitar loops, definitely click the link in the description after this video to get hold of the Epic Guitar Loop sample pack. But now I'm done self-endorsing myself, let's get into the video and show you how I made $10,000 worth of beat sales in 1 year. Okay, so firstly, where did the beat sales come from? Starting with BeatStars, as I'm sure most of you who are beat sellers would have heard of that, and probably 99% of you are on that platform. In 2023, I have made $7,496.03. Now, to break it down even more, from actual marketplace sales, I've made $4,584. Pro page, which is just YouTube traffic, I made $1,634. And from Blaze Players, which is my own beat selling website that I made using Wix, I made $1,277. Now, moving over to Airbit, in the last year on the Airbit marketplace, I've made $565. And then on Soundy, which I only started using recently this year for email marketing specifically, I made $1,051.25. And then the last income is custom beat making, which in that bracket I made an extra £2,302.06, meaning the grand total I actually made this year was $11,414.34. So the takeaways here are, my biggest earner has been the BeatStars marketplace by far. A lot has to be said about the BeatStars marketplace this year, especially after August and July, when there seemed to be a very turbulent period where BeatStars changed a lot of things up and there was problems of ranking in the algorithm, and a lot of people were backlashing, thinking that BeatStars had messed up big time. Despite all that, we have had a very healthy return from the BeatStars marketplace. And on top of that, the second biggest earner that you may have been surprised to see in this was the custom beat making, which I'm going to dive a little bit more into details on in a second, but that was a very solid income for me this year as a beat maker. I do have other streams of incomes, but the whole point of this task was I was only going to be using custom beat orders if the person who wanted that service had found me first through one of my beat selling sites. So if they had reached out to me on any other source other than anything to do with my beat selling brand, it wouldn't have counted towards this total. So it's very reassuring that this is actually the total amount I earn as a beat seller. So now the thing you all want to know is, how did I make this much? Now, before I tell you how I actually earned that much on all of these individual bits that I've just told you, I think I first need to give a bit of context to the sort of beat selling and doing and who I am as a producer. So I'm a pop beat producer, so I make type of pop beats, which very weirdly in this sort of market is kind of a niche. When I first started selling beats, I was very surprised by this because pop is one of the biggest genres of the world, but I guess at the same time so is hip hop, and in the beat selling world it just far surpasses it. So when I started selling beats, even though I did try to jump on the bandwagon of selling hip hop beats at first, I'm a pop producer, so naturally I went back to this. And for me, it was all about finding a niche that I feel like could work for me as a beat seller, and that is what I've been doing for the past year and a half that I've been selling beats, nearly 2 years now. And by finding my niche has helped me get to this total goal that I have achieved in this video. So firstly, we're starting with BeatStars. BeatStars marketplace is very simple. I've got sales through that by uploading onto BeatStars and trusting in the algorithm. I can't say I've been uploading specific beats in order to get sales in the BeatStars marketplace. I have kept it in the back of my mind when uploading beats, especially in the early stages of 2023. I was uploading a lot of beats which I noticed were actually ranking on BeatStars for me, and that was all about finding the right niche. And for me, I've been uploading in the indie pop, synth pop, artist type beats include like piano ballads, Taylor Swift, Lauv, and Ed Sheeran type beats. And at the start of this year, I was really starting to play around with a niche that I could really go all in on. So I guess you could say I have been trying to do a little bit of hyper-targeted SEO when it comes to uploading to BeatStars Marketplace, but BeatStars Marketplace is a little bit of a lottery. The best bit of advice I can give you for doing well on the BeatStars Marketplace is just to upload consistently and frequently and try and make it the best quality beats that you can, but don't pressure yourself to make the highest quality beat every single time, because one thing I noticed when I did that, it was harder to upload a beat a day. So yeah, the BeatStars Marketplace, all you can do is upload on there, try and see where the beats are ranking for you, search in BeatStars, try and see where they're ranking, and then if you see beats which are doing well for you ranking or views wise, you should replicate that, and that's how you can get more views, more free downloads, and more sales. It's a similar story as well on the Airbit Marketplace as well. Again, that's just a lottery, and Airbit has a far smaller marketplace than BeatStars, so that's why there's such a massive difference from Airbit Marketplace sales to BeatStars Marketplace. In fact, 8 times more. So next with the Pro page, that was all traffic which was driven from my YouTube channel. So if we take a look here, these are my stats for my YouTube Type Beat channel in the past year. One thing you've noticed here when I was listing my different incomes is I actually have a couple different websites, which I will go into a little bit more detail on of why that is in a second. But with the Pro page, I wanted that to be specifically for YouTube so I could actually track how much revenue I make selling beats on YouTube. So as you can see here, in the last year, my channel has grown a lot. I've now got 1,407 subscribers. We've gained over 1,000 subscribers this year. The first year was very slow growing this, but once I found a niche that I wanted to work with, things really started to pick up nicely. I started uploading every single day of the week on here, where I'd upload 5 new beats a week and I'd repost twice. Now when I say reposting, I would take a beat from 2022 which maybe didn't do so well, or a beat that I think could have done better and still fits in the niche that I'm uploading today. I'll re-upload it at the weekends, so there's no pressure to make 7 beats a week, and I'm still uploading 7 days a week on here, and because of that, it meant that I was getting a decent amount of views every day, subscribers were gaining, and then towards the end of the year, we had a real nice sort of something clicked in the algorithm, and now I'm really benefiting from it. And you may see here that I only earned £3.77 from YouTube revenue this year. Well, that's because I only got monetized the other day, so don't look too much into that information. That's going to be a video for a different time. Now, while we're on the topic of the YouTube Type Beat channel, one thing that's really helped with growing this channel is, again, focusing on niches. Unlike the BeatStars Marketplace, I really did focus a lot on what type of niches were performing well on my YouTube Type Beat channel, and the best thing you can do to try and learn what sort of beats do better in YouTube is to upload a variety of beats at the start of a month if you're going to start doing these sorts of things now, and start to really take note of what ones are getting the most views, the most traction, and the most engagement, and start to replicate that. For me, and me specifically, Taylor Swift beats is something that's done really well for me this year, so I've uploaded a lot of Taylor Swift beats. Also, piano ballads have performed very well for me specifically as well. And towards the end of the year, what's caused this spike here is jumping on the Christmas beats trend, the Christmas pop beats, making my own, being original with it, and it's really benefited the channel and helped me get monetized. Now, one big disclaimer is don't do these specific artists I've said. This is just what's worked for me, and in this industry, it's really important to know that what works for someone else doesn't work for you necessarily. So when you're looking and scouring the internet, try and find gaps in the market, stuff that's very undersaturated. This is normally mid to not so big artists. Don't just do stuff like Drake type beats or J. Cole or Lil Wayne, because they're really oversaturated markets. And how you're going to benefit yourself long term as a beat maker is to find them niches. And then when it comes to the website that I had is my Wix website, and I drive a lot of different traffic there. Specifically, like, I have YouTube as well, where I do put the link in the below, because my website I find is a lot more optimized for people actually browsing through my catalog than the Pro page. That's why I also include the link in my YouTube channel for that as well. So I get some traffic from YouTube for my main website. I also use SoundCloud for my own website as well. I've never really noticed much of an effect from using SoundCloud, but you know, it is what it is. And I also use email marketing as well. For those of you who are wondering, I use Brevo. I only pay like $19 a month for this, but I've by far made my money back. As you can see, that I've made $1,277.25 in my actual website, and a lot of that will be because of email marketing, so at least I've turned over a profit from having an email marketing in the first place. Then the next one we're talking about is Soundy. Now, Soundy, I had an account for the whole year, but I wanted to start using the Soundy Pro page for email marketing, because the Soundy Pro page is so much better optimized when it comes to email marketing and e-commerce. You've got the stuff like the abandoned carts, the sort of bulk deal with the banners, so much about it so good. So in September, I did start using the Soundy Pro page. So basically, all the sales that I get from Soundy are from email marketing as well, because the structuring that I'm doing for my Beats Store is that Soundy is going to be specifically for email marketing going forward, and I found that the conversion rate is very good when it comes to using it for email marketing alone. Especially you can link up to Google Analytics and see things like add to carts and when there's abandoned carts as well. And you can also send emails when people have abandoned their cart to remind them that there is Beats in their cart. It's a very powerful tool, and I think long-term Soundy is going to be a very viable option when it comes to beat selling. And then the last one is custom beat making. Now, custom beat making, I've got this a couple of ways. I've got it from my email marketing list, where how I've grown my email marketing list is from doing free downloads on my Beats only. That's the only thing I've been using this year to grow my email list, is just by doing free for non-profit beats, allowing a free download for an email capture, and that is on Soundy, Airbit, and BeatStars that's possible. So anyone who's downloaded a beat for free this year has been added to my email marketing list. And then a lot of people from there have reached out for custom beat making services on my email list, as well as actually on my BeatStars Pro page as well. And then on top of that as well, my Instagram account has been a very good source for getting custom beat offers. Been doing a lot of uploading of tutorials and just doing little short form content as me as a producer doing stuff, and that's actually had a positive effect on actually people reaching out and wanting to work with me. So Instagram we can add to the list of traffic drivers when it comes to custom beat making, and also Beat Store as well. But the one thing I found is Instagram's very good for getting custom beat making work. Even though nowadays some people will actually say that Instagram is dead, but people love to say that channels are dead, and mainly that's just because they're not doing as well as they could on there, and they're not as optimized as they probably should be. So that is how I've driven traffic to my Beat Store. Now I just want to give you some quick bits of advice to wrap up the context of this video, because some of you may still have questions about things, and I'd really want to get across what I've learned from the last year of this challenge and selling $10,000 worth of beats, because a lot of you watching this video wouldn't have made that many sales at all. And believe it or not, just 2 years ago I was in the same boat as you. I didn't even know what beat selling was till 2 years ago, and I just decided to start watching some videos. I remember watching Billy's Got It Bumpin's video where he made a ridiculous amount of money selling beats, and that's when I thought there could be money in this. But the one thing that I didn't realize early on is how hard it actually is to get the ball rolling. So the first bit of advice that I would give you is to be patient. Now I know that's an easy bit of advice just to throw at you, but listen up, because there's a lot more to this than just the obvious. A lot of the success that I've had selling beats and getting to that $10,000 has been down to a lot of trial and error and refining my craft. I didn't just start uploading beats one day and it all clicked into place. I had to try about 4 or 5 different niches before I found the one that worked. And yes, it is frustrating, and yes, it might actually take up to 6 months to do, but in the long term it's going to be so worth it for you as a beat maker to try these things, because you never know what gold mine you're going to land on by trying out different artists, different subgenres. You just don't know, because if you told me 2 years ago that I would be uploading Taylor Swift beats and making money of it, good money of it as well, I would have laughed in your face. But this is the world we live in, so hey, I'm not complaining. And on top of that as well, even as far as recently, I'm still always looking to change my niches up. I just don't assume that something's going to work forever, because niches change. Another bit of advice I give you is you've got to be ready to adapt, because even Taylor Swift beats in the summer, they didn't actually perform me as well, which is when I started selling Christmas beats, and that's what really recovered. And didn't just recover, as you saw in the YouTube video, it exploded my channel towards the end of 2023. So yes, do not be afraid to adapt and change up your niche. Now the biggest thing I understand right now when I talk to you is I did mention a lot of different sites. I've got different websites, and that's outgoing, so you've really got to pace yourself financially as well. The way that I can afford to have an email subscription thing, how I can afford to be on Airbit with the premium, the Soundy with the premium subscription, and BeatStars is through starting on BeatStars, earning enough on there to justify then getting an Airbit membership, and then when the 2 incomes started to add up, then I could invest in Soundy as well, and then email marketing. Every one of my outgoings when it comes to beat selling pays for itself just through beat selling. I have other incomes like freelance, I do stock music licensing, I release music on streaming platforms, but beat selling I've always kept in its bubble. So any outgoings I have in beat selling, I've always kept within the bubble of beat selling. And I see it as an investment. It's not always about making money, then pocketing it and going spending it. Sometimes it's better to take the money that you earn as a beat seller, invest it straight back in, because it's made me more money and helped me get to that $10,000 a lot quicker than just pocketing everything I earned. So with that all in mind, I really hope that you found this video helpful. I wanted it to be, and I wanted it to be the video that you deserve if you're new to beat selling or you're struggling to sell more beats, because for sure I know how frustrating it is to see other people selling beats and you not being able to work out why you're not selling as many beats as other people, when the honest truth is it is just mainly down to finding the right niche which is going to work for you. If I jumped on the bandwagon of doing what other people were doing well and making money off, I would not be at the stage now where I'm earning $10,000, which by the way, this is a side hustle. This is only 3 hours of my day every single day because I've got other freelance incomes as a music producer. So just think about that and really start to do the research and plan out how you're actually going to find your niche. If you need any more guidance on how you can do that, check out the rest of my YouTube channel because I documented this whole year in beat selling vlogs. So watch through them, smash the subscribe button so you never miss another video like this. Keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.